Hello there. I'm Stephanie Burns. This is my showcase number 3. I'm going to be talking about my use of Canvas. So, for our showcases, I did my lesson plan on MLA citations. And for Showcase 3, I decided to use the LMS of Canvas. So I chose Canvas because I really liked how simple it was. It's very clean, super customizable, easy to add what you want and not to have what you don't want. So the nice thing about Canvas is it has a lot of different platforms. So you have assignments. If you go into this plus button, you can see it has assignments, quizzes, different files that you can put on pages, discussion boards, all of this different stuff. So just super convenient to build a lesson and build a module, which is what I did in this case. So for my lesson, I focused on remediation. In my formative quiz for Showcase 2, only my top scoring student scored a 3 out of 5 on my quiz. And then there was one student that scored a 1 out of 5. And then there were some questions that everyone missed altogether. So I really wanted to focus on having the students be able to build their own citations. They were really good at recognizing which citations were correct, but in terms of building their own citations and writing those out, and knowing the format of how to cite in-text citations properly, not as great. So that's what I'm really focusing on here in my module. So if the student were to go into the modules here, they would see MLA citations. So they can just click on this. And I have everything laid out here. So for learning objectives, they can click on that. And this is just the beginning, kind of having something concrete that I want the students to be able to take away from this module. So create a works cited, identify correct citations, and facilitate their own level of learning. Because I did have such a variety of scores and what students were a little stronger in, whereas some students just didn't really grasp the concept at all. I wanted to make sure that they can learn at their own pace. So let's go back into modules. I also did why MLA is important. So I did a meme. Oh, sorry, you can ignore that. I did a meme to capture their attention, especially with high school students. Very popular. Anyway, so just something to have kind of capture their attention, and then just giving them an overview of the module and what I want them to learn and why we're learning it. But then I also have a couple of different links for them. So I have a link to Purdue OWL, which just gives a summary and how to cite MLA sources properly. It's just supposed to be like a really great way to just give them an overview of what MLA citation is. MLA survival tips from Clark College Libraries. This is supposed to be just kind of a article that they can use to just kind of bounce back to, especially if they have questions, just something really fast that they can refer to. And this is especially good for those students who kind of already grasp the concept, whereas like Purdue OWL is giving you an overview of everything. This article here is just a really great resource for students who grasp the concept of citations, but maybe aren't sure about something in particular. So I also have a video for the students who might not necessarily want to read. And then this just goes over like citing a website using MLA. And then, there are also other resources there. So then we can just click this next button, and that'll take us into our MLA worksheet. So this is just something where they can take sources that I would give them and then build their own site works cited sheet. Like I said earlier, like that's just a place that they really struggled. So kind of forcing them to put in the work and get really good at building those works cited so that they can look at an article or a source and just be able to spit out a citation like in no time. So that's really the goal here. And once again, like referring back to their struggle in that. So here is a discussion board about just any questions they might have about MLA citations. I already wrote in a question for as a test student. So just this is a really easy platform where students can post their questions, say, I didn't understand how to format my citations pages. And then as the teacher, I can go back in and say, well, what did you struggle with specifically? And then kind of have that back and forth, or other students can also chime in any of their other questions or help other students out. Like if they have a question, was the comma supposed to go here? Is it the first name that's supposed to be first or the last name? And then other students can chime in, well, here, or this is what we learned in class, or like this is what I had in my notes. Or if you look at the Purdue OWL website, then you can see that as well. So just really, really great way to see like the back and forth between students there. And then this is a quiz that students can take. I know we had that quiz at the beginning with the formative. It's really nice because Canvas does have their own quizzes, so I could take that quiz from formative and plug it into my module, but Canvas also has their own quizzes, which is really nice, and I can be able to see some of like the feedback and how students did on their quiz, just to see, are they progressing in their learning? So, and then that's the end of my module. So we'll just go back into modules here. So yeah, so I really liked using Canvas. Like I said earlier, it's like really simple, but it's also a really great way to have students kind of self-regulate, like having the different articles that they can use, whether they just need like something really quick to look at because they're already aware of it, or maybe they need those extra resources to really help them gain the knowledge that they need to be advanced learners. And so, yeah, so I really liked how that connected to the UDL principles 9.1 and 9.3 of just being able to have self-regulated learners, especially in this module that I created. I wanted it to be something where they can kind of just work with what they need to improve on, and just learning like why we even use MLA citations to begin with. I would say like this module that I created in like Canvas in general, like there's a lot of opportunity to scaffold learning. But it is a little bit harder unless you have like optional like assignments for students, just to see like where they are in their learning, and if they're an advanced learner, like what are we going to give them to do versus the like students who are struggling in the content. And yeah, so I think Canvas has the option to, that's not what I wanted. Canvas has the option to have students go through step by step, like where they can't move on to the next like learning objective or assignment without completing the other one first. I didn't do that in mine just because I wanted students who are getting the concepts a lot faster to not feel like they were doing busy work. And I wanted the students who felt like they didn't get it as much to be able to just like really sit in that. Yeah, so the good and the bad, I really liked the way that Canvas just kind of has everything condensed in it. You don't have to go to a bunch of different places, but there is that option to link in other websites. I think this is definitely something that I would use again, because I liked how